What's up, everybody? Here's a quick disclaimer for this video. I recorded this like 3 days after the new Mario Golf came out, and I just never really got around to uploading it until now. But I was having some issues with my microphone, so I had to just use my laptop microphone, and it kind of sounds like crap, so just, adjust your volume accordingly. I'm sorry.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Chicken Noodle Gamer, where today I'm going to be talking about the new Mario Golf game that just came out the other day, Mario Golf Super Rush. Now, I just recently beat the story mode, and that's why I'm here. I want to talk exclusively about the story mode and my issues with the story mode. I need to get this off my chest now because, as is with most games, my problems with it tend to fade away with time. It's happened with several games. I first play through it, I have like 25,000 issues with it, and then I like replay it a few times, and then most of those issues just don't become as glaring. And I just want to get this video out now while they're still fresh in my mind, and I could really just say it all. So basically what I'm getting at is the story mode is very weird. Mario Tennis Aces, also made by Camelot, the same guys who made this Mario Golf game, had, I'm not going to say a better story mode. I like the Mario Golf story mode better than the Aces story mode despite all of its issues, but Aces just kind of had a better structure. The structure of this golf story mode is just really odd to me. Now, I did enjoy it, and I'm just gonna list off a few positives about it. The fact that you can walk around is just awesome. The fact that the world is pretty much just connected and you're like going on an adventure, I really like that because the Aces story mode ran off of a world map and generally it was just very weird. And thanks to the fact that it was a world map, even though it did have an overarching story, it felt more like a challenge collection than an actual game that you're playing. Mario Golf Superstar Rush, or whatever it's called, fixes this issue by letting you control your character in the world, running around talking to NPCs. It feels more like an RPG, while the other one just felt like, oh, go do the things and then it'll be done. But no doubt, Aces had a better structure. Now, the gameplay of Mario Golf Super Rush is really where it shines. The reason I enjoy the story mode as much as I do is because of the golf gameplay. This is tried and true Mario Golf gameplay. And if the gameplay was bad, then I would hate the story mode even with all its issues. But since the gameplay is so good, despite all the issues, I can enjoy it. It's very fun. I didn't play with motion controls. I just did button controls, but it's fun, it's strategic. There's a whole bunch of things, a whole bunch of different modes, like cross-country golf, where the holes aren't really separate. You have to like make your way to each hole. It's a really cool thing. The addition of speed golf is awesome, like running. It makes it feel more like a Mario game, I guess, instead of just a sports game, and that goes a long way because an issue with modern Mario sports games is it feels more like the sports game with Mario rather than Mario in tennis. Like Mario, like the Mario part of it should always be the biggest part. But they really made it all good here. But let me get into the issues. Like I said a bunch of times already, it's the structure. The Mario Golf structure is so weird, and I think the best way I can get this point across is by comparing it to the Aces story. So I'm just going to give you a quick synopsis of each story and how everything plays out, and I think by doing that, you're basically going to get the picture on why exactly I think the Mario Golf Super Rush structure is just so odd. So here's a very brief rundown of the Mario Aces story. Basically, it opens with Wario and Waluigi mining, and they get this racket, and they bring it to Mario, but Luigi grabs the racket, and the racket possesses Luigi along with Wario and Waluigi, and they are the main antagonists of the game. And then you go to a little ruins, and this mysterious voice Aster, he tasks you with going to the 5 places and finding the 5 things to stop the bad guys. It's very basic. So you go into the forest, you do some challenges, and then you fight a boss. You go to a ghost house, you do some challenges, you fight a boss. You go to a snowy mountain, you do some tennis challenges, and you fight a boss. And then, Wario and Waluigi are back. They haven't showed up since the beginning of the game, and now we're halfway through the game and they're making another appearance. We don't know what's going on. We better get those 2 other gems that we need. So you set out into the stormy sea, you fight a boss, and where's the treasure? Wario and Waluigi have it, so we need to stop at the Bowser Fire spot, do a few tennis challenges, and beat the boss. But here's the big thing, big climax of the story. Wario and Waluigi challenge us to a tennis match, tennis tournament, and whoever wins gets all 5 magic gems. So you do it, you win, you get the racket, everyone's saved, and then Bowser's like, fuck you. And he pulls up and takes Lucian's racket, and then you gotta go stop him, and Bowser is the final boss. It's a very simple structure. Levels, boss, levels, boss, levels, boss, with a few plot points here and there. That's all it needs to be. But Mario Golf goes a different way with it. Mario Golf, with the bosses specifically, it feels like the bosses were never meant to be there, or they were an afterthought at least. It's like they added bosses in the Aces story mode, so they kind of felt obligated to add in golf bosses. But unlike Mario Tennis Aces, which had 6 bosses in its like 3 or 4 hour campaign, Mario Golf has 3 bosses in its 7 or 8 hour long campaign. And it's just weird. So I'm going to run you through the quick basic rundown of the story mode in the golf game now. So you create a Mii, and then you're dumped into this Pokemon-typed world. You got Birdo. It plays the role of Ash's mom. It's very Pokemon-style stuff going on. So you are a rookie golfer about to set out on a long quest to go and do some shit, and so you have a badge. I don't remember what the badge is, but there's like 6 levels of badges, and you need to go from town to town to get all 6 badges. So you do some golf challenges, you do what's called a badge qualifier, which gets you the badge and lets you move to the next area, and then you move to Ridge Rock Mountains, or whatever it's called. And then you do some golf challenges, you do the badge qualifier cross-country golf, and then you move on to the dunes, the sand world. You do some golf challenges, you do the badge qualifier on speed golf, and then you move on to Wild Weather Woods. And then you do some golf challenges in Wild Weather Woods, and then, you get dragged off to some random place because you heard of a disturbance, and it's Wario and Waluigi, and they just got struck by lightning or something, so then they run off, and then you're tasked with some mysterious voice that tells you to do the 3 trials. So you do 3 trials, and the 3rd trial is the first boss fight of the game. Yes, the first boss fight of the game near the end of the game. And then you beat the first boss fight, which is basically a tutorial boss fight telling you how further boss fights in the game are gonna work. And then from here on out, this is where the real story starts. The whole Pokemon shit, for the majority of the game now you've been doing this, that was all nothing, because here's the main story, here's the main issue. This boss fight that you just fought, this trial that you did, he explains to you there's this evil guy called the Snow King, and he's trying to fucking ruin the entire world and engulf the entire thing in ice, and you need to stop the Snow King. But step 1 in stopping the Snow King, we need to go back to the dunes and get this fire ability from a sacred flame beast. And you go to the desert and you fight the 2nd boss of the game immediately after fighting the 1st boss of the game. And you fight the Sacred Flame Beast, which I promise you is not the Fire Elemental from Paper Mario: The Origami King. I swear it. and you beat him, you get the flame power, and then he's like, alright, you need to go to the final area of the game, because that's where the Snow King is. It's in Bowser's Castle. So you do that, but except you can't, because you need the gold badge. So you do the badge qualifier, some normal golf stuff, and then you make it to the final area, and you see how Bowser's Castle is all iced up. So you thaw out the ice, and then you go on your quest to stop the Snow King. And by doing that, you golf 9 holes with the help of Wario and Waluigi, and then you make it to the final boss, which is the Snow King. It's not Bowser, and that's pretty cool. I'll give it that. That's pretty cool. Now, I like the Snow King boss fight. I want to say the Snow King boss fight, it's just a lot more in-depth than the other 2 boss fights. The first boss fight was like a tutorial boss fight. It wasn't really a boss fight. It was just trying to tell you how boss fights are going to work. I already said that. And then the Sacred Flame Beast was like, that was the boss. That was like a real boss, how bosses are. And then the Snow King was just the final boss. And the Snow King was the most in-depth, and the Snow King is the only one I died on. I fucked up once on the Snow King fight and had to do it again. So that's fun. In modern Mario games, I always like it when I die because they tend to not really be that challenging. So death isn't really. Whenever I'm playing a modern Mario game, whether it be an RPG, just whatever, if I die, I'm not like, oh shit, I died. I'm like, oh cool, I actually died. I'm actually having a hard time. Thank God, because Mario games nowadays are just so easy most of the time. They get hard sometimes, but that's besides the point. And then you beat the Snow King, and then everyone's saved, and the world's saved, and you did it. And you get the Platinum Badge, and you are now the best golfer ever, and you can qualify for Battle Golf, which is what you wanted to do all along. But do you see the issue there? In Mario Tennis, in Mario Golf, the story is just so chunky. In Mario Tennis Aces, it's just fluid. It's just levels, boss, levels, boss, levels, boss, levels, boss, levels, boss, final boss, you win. In this one, it's golf, 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 just a little bit more golf, some golf, and then, okay, here's the real story, more than halfway through the game, here's a boss fight, another boss fight right after the first boss fight, and then some more golf, and then the final boss fight, and you're done. It's just the chunkiest, most unpleasant structure I ever. And it's not to say the story is bad. Like, I feel like they could strike a middle ground between introducing the main antagonist and the first 5 seconds of the game, and introducing the main antagonist more than halfway through the game. I feel like if they alluded to the Snow King or just did anything to make us wary of what's to come in like the second area of the game, and then maybe pay that off by introducing the Snow King in the 4th area of the game, I feel like that would be better. But the entire subplot with the Snow King trying to take over the world just kind of feels forced because they wait so long to do it. Now, I can't be for sure. I'm sure the Snow King was always planned, and I'm sure that was always a thing. They weren't just gonna, like, make a story mode with no threat or final boss or anything. Because then that wouldn't really be interesting. That would just be Pokemon. And even Pokemon always has a greater threat. Like Pokemon Sword and Shield. Spoiler alert, Chairman Rose turned out to be the big bad guy who did some shit. But my overall point is, the Mario Golf story mode structure is just so odd to me, and I know that feeling is gonna fade because, like I said or didn't say, or I don't know if I said, it's 4 in the morning. But it's just I had to get this off my chest now, because I know after I play through the story mode again, I'm just gonna not care. Because a lot of the disappointment comes from me not expecting it. And I think that's the reason I start to not care as time goes on. I did the same thing with Age of Calamity. Like Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity, the extension of the Breath of the Wild story. They advertised it as a proper prequel, and then it wasn't, and that was really disappointing. And then upon a second playthrough, I knew it was an alternate timeline, so I appreciated the story for what it was rather than what it wasn't. and that's why I liked it more. And I feel like when I replay this game story mode, I'm gonna feel the same way. I'm gonna know that the real story doesn't kick off until more than halfway through the game, and I'm just gonna appreciate it for what it is, a golf game. But I just had to get this all off my chest. Again, I recommend the game. It's really fun. The story mode is really fun, despite how weird and clunky and chunky the structure is. I'd recommend buying it, but I just had to get this all off my chest. One more thing before I go, comparing it to Aces. It's just the Mario Golf story mode is like 3 hours longer than the Aces story mode. And again, they just need to strike a middle ground. Like, Ace's story mode is, like, too fast. Like, everything happens too fast. And then Mario Golf, everything happens too slow and then too fast. It's just very weird. Like, despite how fluid Ace's was, it was still very fast and brief. And at least the Mario Golf story mode felt more meaty to me. Like, I did finish it in, like, 3 days, but still, it just felt a lot more meaty than the Aces story mode to me. But I don't want to start repeating myself. This video is already 16 minutes long as of like right about now, and that's all I wanted to do. Maybe I might do a full review on this game at some point, but I feel like this is all I'm gonna post about this game, because I'm still hard at work on my Origami King review a year after the game came out at this point, and whatever. I'll see you guys on the next one. Tune in next time, whatever. Maybe the Origami King review will be out this time. Whatever. Bye-bye.